In Ayurveda, there's something called Ritu Sandhi. Ritu means seasons, Sandhi means joint. Ritu Sandhi is the joint. It's the space between the seasons. It's what connects the seasons. And so this is made note of in Ayurveda because during Ritu Sandhi, you are supposed to basically taper off the dietary and lifestyle practices of the previous season and begin the dietary and lifestyle practices of the new season. And so right now, we are in Ritu Sandhi, transitioning from winter to spring. I want to share a few things that you can do to support your body during this transition and really set yourself up to maximize the benefits of spring, of which there are many. One thing you may notice in the spring is that your appetite actually gets lower. In an environmental perspective, there's snow on the ground in the winter, and the spring comes in, the sun comes out, it heats it up, and it melts. And so our internal environments are always reflecting that external environment. The accumulation of the winter is now being released in our bodies. What this does is lower the appetite. It lowers the desire and drive for food because that energy which was being used to burn food is now being used to detox. That makes this time a great time to fast. A little fasting can go a long way right now. If you have 3 meals a day, go ahead and skip breakfast and just have lunch and dinner. If you have 2 meals a day, go ahead and skip your first meal and just have dinner. You can do some intermittent fasting. In Ayurveda, we also make use of fruit fasting. So rather than having a typical meal, you can just have fruit for a meal. That's a fun one. All of these things will encourage and support your body in the natural detoxification process that is happening right now. There's also a microbiome shift. In the winter, our bodies are good at metabolizing sugars and carbohydrates. Turns out those Christmas cookies have a microbiotic charge to them. What I mean is, we love those Christmas cookies, and that's actually seasonal and natural. Evolutionarily speaking, winter is, we're living off of that fall harvest. So late fall, early winter, the harvests are in, summer's harvests are in, and we're feasting. We're eating, we're building, we're storing, we're preparing for winter. And so the body gets good at storing energy, taking those carbs and sugars and storing them for fat so that we can have fuel during the winter. This all changes right now. This all changes when the sun comes out and the body says, okay, it's time to let go. And so the body actually becomes less good at processing sugars. So right now is a great time to get a little, you could say cleaner with your eating, but really it's just shifting the consumption. Less sugars, less carbohydrates, more meat, more vegetables, eggs, etc. Essentially, you can do yourself a favor by putting up the boxes of Christmas cookies and starting to eat a little bit cleaner in line with spring. Another thing that's really good to do right now is exercise. Same thing, right? We've been stored away in the winter, and it can get pretty easy to just hibernate, and the sun is out. So it's time to get out. It's time to exercise. You want to move your body. You want to get that blood flowing. You want to get that heart pumping, especially in the sun. Getting out in the sun, that's a big deal. Our entire physiologies are run on light. The sun's light is the control mechanism, really. I mean, our entire physiology is always that's the first input. That's what it's looking at. The light. The light is what determines when things do what they do. The light is what determines when it's time to eat, when it's time to go to bed, etc., etc. Our health has a lot to do with our relationship with light. and with natural light. We are light beings. We emit light. The morning sun is particularly special. The morning sun is not the same thing as the evening sun. The morning sun, the first half of the day, the sun's rays are energizing and nourishing. The latter half of the day, the sun's rays are degenerating. Now, in the springtime, the sun is pretty nourishing the whole time. So it's kind of like a gradient. You can imagine that slowly changes over time, which you can really feel in the late summer. In the final stages of summer and fall, you can feel that hot sun just penetrate your skin in the late summer. So pay attention this year, you'll notice. And that's it, guys. Happy spring. I'm loving it. I'm loving getting outside. Get out there, get barefoot in the grass. Grounding is a huge deal. You know, when it comes to this health stuff, a lot of the free stuff is by and large the most effective things we can do. Get your feet in the grass, get your hands in the dirt, get in the sun, eat some celery, and have a happy spring.